Imagine you possess the ability to enter into a deep trance-like state and provide insights that could heal and transform lives. What would you seek, explore, or heal with this extraordinary gift? And how would it affect you and the lives of those around you? Oh, I forgot, there is one catch. When you come out of the trance, you won't remember a thing you said. Welcome, fellow seekers of the extraordinary. Today we embark on a journey through the remarkable life of Edgar Cayce, a man whose tale is a captivating story of both talents and wisdom that has piqued the curiosity of inquisitive minds worldwide. Born into humble beginnings, his life journey is a testament to the human mind and spirit. Let's begin with a moment that would change Cayce's life forever. Picture a small town in rural Kentucky in 1877. One day as a child, Cayce was struck in the back by a baseball during a school game. This incident, as unusual as it may seem, was the catalyst for a profound transformation. After the incident, Cayce began to experience a deep trance-like state, an altered state of consciousness. In this state, he found the ability to diagnose illnesses and offer healing insights. He even astounded his classmates and teachers by revealing intimate details about their lives and inner thoughts, demonstrating a gift that extended far beyond the ordinary. As Cayce grew, his gifts began to expand, and he began to help others. One of his most remarkable cases involves a child named Thomas Jefferson Segru, usually referred to as Paul. Paul was diagnosed with cerebral palsy shortly after his birth in 1937. By the age of 3, Paul was still unable to walk or talk. He had limited control over his movements and showed little responsiveness to his surroundings. His condition was seen as particularly severe. In 1940, Paul's father sought Cayce's advice. Cayce's reading for Paul indicated that his condition was due to a combination of factors, including a lesion on his spine and issues from a past life. Cayce's treatment that he prescribed was both medical and spiritual in nature. It included specific massages, dietary changes, and spiritual teachings. The reading even recommended that Paul should be told stories from the Bible and that he should have affirmations whispered into his ear. Following Cayce's recommendations, Paul showed significant improvements. Within a year, he was walking. As time went on, he started speaking, and eventually, he was able to attend school. While he still faced challenges, the improvements were notable. Paul's father, Thomas Segru, was so impressed, he even wrote a book about Cayce titled, There is a River. Another case involved a 28-year-old woman, only identified as Miss 487. She wanted Cayce's help for tuberculosis, a fatal disease in those days. Cayce's reading recommended a specific and, at the time, unusual treatment, the smoke from apple brandy barrels. Following his advice, she daily inhaled the fumes from charred apple brandy kegs. Remarkably, she made a complete recovery. It was later discovered that the smoke from these barrels produced a form of creosote, a known antiseptic that had been used in a limited manner for the treatment of tuberculosis. In another instance, a woman suffering from debilitating arthritis was told to wrap her swollen joints in the fresh hides of animals, particularly rabbits. Although this seemed unusual, she followed Cayce's advice and, to her astonishment, experienced significant relief. Cayce's reading seemed to have suggested that the gelatinous substance found in the hides aided in reducing inflammation. Today, many arthritis supplements contain glucosamine and chondroitin, substances derived from animal cartilage. Cayce's claim to fame lay in his medical readings. In his deep trances, he became a healer, providing precise diagnoses and holistic treatments. However, it's important to note that Cayce had his share of skeptics and critics. Some questioned the authenticity of his trance readings, attributing the outcomes to placebo effects or mere coincidence. Cayce's reading often contained vague language which left them open to interpretation. For instance, He may say something like, "In a past life, you were closely associated with the sea, perhaps a sailor, or someone living near the ocean." In medical readings, Cayce's advice could be just as indistinct. He might offer suggestions like, "I would recommend a diet low in meat and high in vegetables, perhaps focusing on root vegetables in particular, without offering specific quantities or particular types of vegetables." These general and non-specific predictions and recommendations contributed to the difficulty in validating or debunking Cayce's claims empirically. The Committee for Skeptical Inquiry, or CSI, has long been a prominent critic of Cayce's claimed psychic and healing abilities. CSI, composed of noted scholars, including members like astronomer Carl Sagan, science fiction writer Isaac Asimov, philosopher Paul Kurtz, and magician James Randi, is committed to promoting scientific skepticism and resisting the spread of pseudoscience. They have methodically examined and challenged Cayce's work. James Randi, a well-known skeptic and magician, offered incisive criticism of Cayce's healing abilities in his book Flim Flam, The Truth About Unicorns, Parapsychology, and Other Delusions. Randi contested the accuracy and authenticity of Cayce's treatments, underscoring the vagueness and lack of concrete evidence to support many of Cayce's claims. He pointed to Cayce's use of evasive language and expressions such as, "I feel that," or "perhaps," which allowed Cayce to avoid making definitive statements which could be easily verified. It's important to note that because Cayce didn't know and couldn't control what was said during his trance readings, he was worried that he was going to offend people and that the things he said might be taken the wrong way. So he did most of his readings via correspondence with the help of a trusted assistant. This contributed to the skepticism of his critics, who wanted to see him do the readings live. The one time that Cayce relented and did a reading in front of some scientific observers, one of them poked him with a hat pin, while another one cut off the tip of his finger. Needless to say, Cayce never made that mistake again. One of Randi's criticisms involved the case of Theodoria Alosio, a young child who had unfortunately passed away from leukemia the night before Cayce's reading. Cayce, unaware of the child's passing, proceeded to give a diagnosis and treatment plan, which Randi deemed ludicrous given that the patient was already deceased. In another instance, Cayce prescribed a peculiar concoction of wild cherry bark, sarsaparilla root, ginger, and other ingredients to a patient posthumously. Randi questioned the efficacy and relevance of such a prescription given the circumstances. Furthermore, Randi critiqued the supposed verification of Cayce's successes, pointing out bias and methodological flaws in the reporting. Many of Cayce's readings remained unreported. Randi took this as a sign that somehow those cases had unsuccessful or inadequate outcome. The positive reports, according to Randi, were hardly conclusive evidence of Cayce's psychic and healing abilities, citing the possibility of self-terminating or imaginary illnesses, or the natural progression of the patient's medical treatment independent of Cayce's intervention. Yet, for every skeptic, there were countless individuals who witnessed miraculous healings and transformations through Cayce's readings. Cayce's supporters answered James Randi with a series of justifications and rationalizations. In the case of Theodoria Alosio, the child who had unfortunately already passed away from leukemia, Cayce's supporters chalked that one up to external factors, including the emotional states of the people involved in the reading and the supposed interference from the attitudes and desires of the child's relatives. They also suggested that Cayce's reading was based on the condition and not the child herself. In essence, despite the irrefutable fact of the child's death at the time of the reading, Cayce's believers remain unshaken in their faith, attributing the discrepancy to factors other than a failure of Cayce's psychic abilities. As miraculous as Cayce's medical readings were, that wasn't all he could do. So let me ask you this. What if you had the ability to see the future and understand what it holds? Who would you tell? Would you share the knowledge? Or would you keep it to yourself? Before I move on to talk about Cayce's predictions of the future, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video so far, please take a moment to like and subscribe. This is my very first attempt at a YouTube video, and one of the most mysterious things in the world to me is the YouTube algorithm. I don't know how it works, but I do know it helps if people like and subscribe. So thank you to all who do. In the future, I hope to bring you more interesting and mysterious stories and concepts. Now, back to Edgar Cayce. Beyond his remarkable healing abilities, Cayce was also known for his predictions. He foresaw many events and developments, some of which have already come to pass, while others are yet to be realized. He predicted the discovery of lost ancient civilizations, including the discovery of the lost city of Atlantis. Although the discovery of Atlantis remains a topic of archaeological debate, Cayce thought that Atlantis was a highly advanced and spiritually enlightened civilization that ultimately met with destruction due to its misuse of technology and power. He also predicted that evidence of Atlantis would be found beneath the waters off the coast of the Bahamas, particularly near Bimini Island. Cayce mentioned that a rising of the Atlantean land into the present that was a greater portion of Atlantis would occur. This was interpreted by some as the rising of a landmass or structures from the depths of the ocean, while others look at this as maybe the building of the Atlantis resort. His prediction suggested that this discovery would coincide with significant astrological events, such as the turning of the sun, or celestial alignments, which would mark the right time for the discovery of Atlantis. It also included phrases like, in the 68 or 69, adding an air of mystery and anticipation to the timing of these events. And then, in 1968, a group of underwater archaeologists, including Joseph Valentine and Jacques Mayhall, found large blocks off the coast of North Bimini Island, which appeared to be a road. The Bimini Road has been seen by many as a possible link to Cayce's prophetic insights. The Bimini Road stretches for about a half mile along the ocean floor. It consists of a row of rectangular limestone blocks, with some weighing several tons. These blocks form a remarkably straight line, and the structure itself is about 20 feet wide. The precision and alignment of the blocks have left many researchers in awe. While the discovery of the Bimini Road has excited the believers in Cayce's predictions, it also drew the scrutiny of skeptics and scientists. One of the most outspoken critics of the Bimini Road as a lost civilization or the discovery of Atlantis is Dr. Eugene Shin, a geologist who's done research in the Bahamas. He and other geologists have proposed that the linear arrangement of the limestone blocks in the Bimini Road is the result of beach rock formation, a process in which sediment accumulates and hardens over time due to the action of waves and tides. Dr. Shin's skepticism regarding the man-made nature of the Bimini Road has contributed to the ongoing debate surrounding its origins. As an interesting side note, Cayce predicted that Atlantis would be found underwater off the shores of the Bahamas. He also predicted that the Great Library of Alexandria would be found beneath the sands of the Sahara. Well, maybe Cayce should have also predicted that Atlantis would also be found beneath the sands of the Sahara Desert. How could this be, you ask? Intense sandstorms in the Sahara Desert, fueled by the African easterly jet, have for centuries carried vast amounts of sand across the Atlantic Ocean. Research institutions, including the NASA Goddard Space Flight Center and the University of Maryland, have conducted extensive studies utilizing satellite imagery and climate models. The ITCZ is a belt of low pressure that circles the Earth near the equator, where the trade winds of the northern and southern hemispheres converge, causing significant uplift of warm, moist air that leads to the development of frequent rain showers and thunderstorms. Vast plumes of dust, visible even from space, journey across the Atlantic, depositing minerals and nutrients that influence ecosystems thousands of miles away. These expeditions and studies, heavily reliant on advanced technology and international collaboration, continually strive to decode the climatic and geological intricacies underlying these remarkable transcontinental journeys. So, if Atlantis is next to the Bahamas, it's not only underwater, It's also buried beneath the shifting sands of the Saharan desert. This intertwining of elements adds another layer of complexity to our quest to uncover the secrets of human history. Cayce also foresaw advancements in technology and the development of devices that could diagnose illnesses remotely. This prediction aligns with modern telemedicine and remote medical diagnostics. Today, we have devices like blood glucose and cardiac monitors. People with diabetes can use glucose monitoring devices that transmit blood sugar readings to their healthcare providers. Cardiac monitors, such as Holter monitors and event monitors, record heart activity over an extended period and send the data to healthcare providers for analysis. Cayce discussed the potential for cures for various diseases, some of which have been realized through advancements in medical research and treatments. Cayce's readings mentioned various liver conditions and their potential treatments. In the case of hepatitis C, advances in medical research have led to highly effective antiviral medications. These medications have a high cure rate and can achieve sustained virological response, SVR, which means that the virus is undetectable in the blood, indicating a cure. He also predicted the shift in global economic power, mentioning the rise of China as a major player in the world economy. This foresight has certainly become a reality. Some of Cayce's predictions are yet to come true. Cayce spoke of profound geological changes, including shifting of coastlines, while some interpret this as a reference to potential future natural events. It remains a topic of debate and anticipation. He mentioned the emergence of a new era of spiritual awakening and enlightenment. This prediction holds hope for a brighter future for humanity, but its realization is still a work in progress. In addition to these predictions, Cayce also made intriguing prophecies about historical mysteries. He mentioned the Great Library of Alexandria in Egypt, one of the most famous libraries of antiquity, which was believed to be lost to history. Cayce foresaw that this ancient repository of knowledge would one day be rediscovered beneath the sands of Egypt. The loss of the Library of Alexandria is one of the greatest mysteries and debated topics of the ancient world. One of the most widely accepted theories is that the Great Library may have been destroyed by a series of fires. Some historical accounts suggest that the library suffered damage during the siege of Alexandria in 48 BC, during which Julius Caesar's forces set fire to parts of the city. Additionally, other fires and conflicts in later centuries, including the Roman Empire's suppression of paganism and the rise of Christianity, may have contributed to the library's destruction. Other theories include the idea of a gradual decline, where some historians propose the Great Library's demise was more of a slow deterioration rather than a singular catastrophic event. Factors such as neglect, insufficient funding, shifts in political power over the years may have contributed to the gradual erosion of the library's collections and its influence. Additionally, an intriguing theory suggests that the term Great Library might not have referred to a single centralized institution, but rather to several libraries scattered across different parts of Alexandria. This perspective posits that various libraries, collectively contributing to the city's intellectual richness, made up what was known as the Great Library. Furthermore, the absence of concrete historical records has led to the possibility that accounts detailing the library's destruction might have been lost or destroyed over time, complicating efforts to determine the precise cause and circumstances of its downfall. Some historians also contend that the library may have faced challenges during the Muslim conquest of Alexandria in the 7th century, with accounts suggesting that books were repurposed to fuel baths. However, there remains debate whether the Great Library itself was a deliberate target. Lastly, an alternative viewpoint suggests that the library might have transformed into a cultural center, or disperse its valuable collections to safeguard them during periods of instability. These multifaceted theories contribute to the ongoing enigma of the Great Library of Alexandria. While the library itself hasn't been unearthed yet, archaeological expeditions across Egypt have uncovered tantalizing clues to its potential location. Archaeological expeditions led by organizations such as the Alexandria Center for Hellenistic Studies, the European Institute for Underwater Archaeology, and the Oxford Center for Maritime Archaeology have been working tirelessly to uncover the secrets of this enigmatic library. The Alexandria Center for Hellenistic Studies, for instance, is dedicated to studying the Hellenistic period in Egypt, which includes the time when the library was built and operated. They have conducted several archaeological excavations in Alexandria, including one at the site of the ancient Muson, which was part of the library complex. Similarly, the European Institute for Underwater Archaeology and the Oxford Center for Maritime Archaeology have conducted underwater excavations off the coast of Alexandria, where they have discovered several ancient shipwrecks and other artifacts that may be related to the library. This prophecy has ignited the imaginations of historians and archaeologists, raising the hope that Cayce's vision may one day become a reality. Cayce's ability to access such knowledge, whether related to healing, predictions, or historical mysteries, remains a profound curiosity. Do you think Cayce tapped into a direct line to God? Or maybe do you think that this is some ability that was innate in all humans and has somehow become dormant or lost? If you find yourself captivated by the enigmatic insights of Cayce, you're in esteemed company. The Association for Research and Enlightenment, ARE, a dedicated organization rooted in the exploration and dissemination of Cayce's profound contributions, serves as a nexus for individuals drawn to his unique perspectives on holistic health, spirituality, and the ancient mysteries that weave through the fabric of human history. Founded in 1931 and located in the serene surroundings of Virginia Beach, Virginia, the ARE is more than an organization. It's a living entity, a community where scholars, enthusiasts, and the curious converge to explore the depths of Cayce's readings. There exists a subset of individuals distinguished as Edgar Cayce scholars who devote their intellectual pursuits to the meticulous study, analysis, and interpretation of Cayce's extensive body of work. These scholars sift through the mystic's insights with academic rigor, lending an element of scholarly depth to the enigmatic and spiritual content of Cayce's readings. Celebrities like Elvis Presley and Marilyn Monroe are also known to be devotees of Cayce. Monroe's interest in the metaphysical found a resonant echo in the teachings of the renowned mystic. Elvis often sought refuge and enlightenment in the wisdom encapsulated in Cayce's words. The intriguing connection between Elvis and Edgar Cayce is underscored by a poignant anecdote from the day of Elvis's passing. It's rumored that on that fateful day, a book about Cayce was among the reading materials found next to Elvis in the solitude of his bathroom, suggesting the iconic singer's enduring fascination with Cayce's insights until his final moments. This is but a mere glimpse into the remarkable abilities and wisdom of Edgar Cayce. If you choose to journey further into the world of this extraordinary individual, remember, seekers, the quest for knowledge and the search for the extraordinary are journeys that never truly end. If you liked this video and would like to see more in the future, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, may your curiosity never wane, and may the enigma of the unknown always beckon you forward.